Hey Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, the generous donations, super chat, super thanks, hypes, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead and ring this bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we'll see what the Masters of Spirit has for us this evening. Seemed like at first there was nothing, and then all of a sudden there was something, like right in the palm of our hand. It's like somebody, hey, Mag Beta Music, like somebody started uncovering information about someone that was trying to hold you back, like gaslight you, trying to ruin your life. Hey, Angelique. But they started to uncover information about this person. You know, like how you hear of one celebrity and they say, yeah, this celebrity was found, or there's somebody that's accusing the celebrity of doing this bad thing. And then all of a sudden you hear that there's 2 people, and then 5 people, and then 7 people. And then you're like, well, damn, did they do it to everybody except me? So there's a lot of information coming out about somebody. Bottom of the deck, determination. See, somebody was determined not to fall prey. It says, take action today with full determination. Obstacles are merely stepping stones to mastery. So someone was determined to not let something get the best of them. This is somebody you're somebody who have displayed a lot of discipline in and doing whatever it is that you do. Maybe you're creating something, or you're just channeling your energy into creative expression or a passion project to strengthen your manifesting abilities. But all of a sudden, as if by magic, with this synchronicity card, it seemed like things were popping up. Recurring theme. Somebody started noticing a trend with someone. And that's what brought them to have this clarity about this person. I feel like it was your openness, your willingness to be open, to let go of like rigid expectations and embrace whatever comes your way with an open heart is what helps somebody to open up their mind and to start noticing trends. This is somebody, confirmation. This is somebody that, you may have a deep emotional connection with you. Doesn't necessarily have to be an intimate connection, but something that's built on trust and openness. I feel like that. And this person, and there's some certainty there, um, that you're the certainty that you needed to speak up because you felt like if you doubted yourself, that would delay something. And if you delayed something, then somebody later on, whenever you finally made up your mind to say something, the other person that you have this relationship with, not saying it's a sexual or intimate, but this close relationship, somebody who sees eye to eye with you, they would at that point doubt you. It was your ability to show gratitude with it's like you tell somebody, I want to have a talk, and whatever it is, but I'm seeking clarity. Hey, Wingseer, how are you? This is you allowing life to unfold without forcing any type of outcome. You're just already in alignment, and so it is what it is. You have faith that the best thing that you're going through this lesson in order to learn the lesson so that you can turn it into a blessing, because that somebody wants to stop your destiny and they cannot. You were a person, somebody wanted to stop you because it's like you have this thing about you, like this euphoria. You do things that make your soul feel alive, and you prioritize joy no matter what's going on. See, people will try and do things to try and bring you down, and it would piss them off even more when they found out they can never upset or destroy your joy. Hey, lies never stuck. Not only that, but you have this, you release control of whatever it is, and you allow manifestations to unfold, like perfect timing. You don't try and control the outcome. You allow whatever happens to happen. Something is manifesting in your life, and it's for the greater good. And right now, you were just determined to be as adaptable as possible. You also have faith, faith in yourself, faith in whatever outcome is going to be outcome, but faith in God, that God is going to see this through. Hey, Demita, how are you? You've been working on yourself. You've been striving for excellence in everything that you do. And that's what makes it hard for someone to take you down, to knock you, quote unquote, off your pedestal. But you're not even sitting on a pedestal. So whatever you have to share to somebody else, or whatever part of this investigation that's going to go on, that you have whatever you need to say to be said, it's going to hit with precision. It's going to clear things up. It's going to be that bullseye. It's like you could be one of those people that go, how are wordy in your explanation, but instead you just want to speak with efficiency. You just want to give just the facts. You don't want to speak from the emotions or how you feel or how somebody made you feel. You just want to provide just the facts. And that's what somebody appreciates. You're also vulnerable. You also show the world, that you do share your feelings openly with someone that you trust. And that's why what this person appreciates about you is that you trust and believe in them. You're about to have a breakthrough. Your vibration is elevating. That joy, love, gratitude, it's elevating. And so you decided that you needed to take a risk, a calculated risk. You needed to leap towards your dreams with confidence and accept whatever it is. You're also aware of yourself, of your surroundings, of what people are doing and saying, and you're also aware of what you are doing and saying. And now you're stepping into your power, and you're being very authentic. You're also a person that likes to lead with compassion. But before you take any step, before you go in any direction, you also like to take a deep breath and connect with your inner peace. Like I said, there is a realization coming of somebody who was so bold to come against you. Somebody who felt like they had this allowance, like they could control, like they were allowed to control what was going on in your life, as opposed to them only trying to control what was going on in their life. Hey, Shaylin. And now this person is finding out that they're having to surrender. Whether that is surrendering their position, or surrendering their need to control, or surrendering everything that they've done. But now somebody's finding out that they have to surrender. Yeah, because you allowed your intuition to guide you and to tell you exactly what was happening, what was going on, what was gaining momentum. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, High Priestess. Hey, Malcolm. Thank you so very much, High Priestess. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, you allowed your intuition to talk to you, to speak to you, and to guide you. And this is whenever you felt the need to also reach out to somebody that you trust. What's the message, Spirit? Ooh. Yeah, because somebody wanted to keep you chained, but it was time for you to liberate yourself, you know? It's time for you to take your power back. You know, this person, doesn't believe with when people are in alignment, but you are most definitely in alignment. And the best way to show somebody is to show them as opposed to tell them. Once again, it's about them trying to stop your destiny. This is one of the devil's greatest workers that cannot stop your destiny. Like I said, it's like you prioritize joy. You prioritize yourself. What keeps you feeling good about being in that alignment, and you releasing control of the final outcome. I feel like this is what's helping this to manifest even faster. Hey, Cali Swag. Once again, you're elevating. Your gifts are elevating. Not just that, but you're also honoring past experiences, things that you've gone through, and ways that you had to let it be an open path where you had to walk away, not knowing how things were going to turn out, but having faith that things were going to turn out for your benefit. This may be an ending, but you're going to embrace this as an opportunity for a new beginning. Also knowing that With this, everything that comes around is going to go around. So you are only going to make sure that you put in good dharma so that good dharma can find its way back to you. You know, this is you recognizing that you have both light and dark aspects of your soul. And you know what? At any given moment, you could have gone the low route and chose to have those dark aspects of your soul come out and show it rear its ugly head like somebody else did, but you always remained in the light. Hey, Miss Mahogany Drag, how are you, sweetie? You were able to, with clarity, define your intention in specific detail of what it was that you wanted, of what it was that you felt like you needed. And once again, being open, and also looking at what you put in, and also, what you should expect to get out. You're creating something, and you're very devoted. It's something that's so simple, but God is leading you in that right direction with that conviction. And as long as you have that faith, as long as you have that hope, what you can look forward to, this is how you're able to transform. Bottom of the deck, the sun. See, somebody cannot stand it that you have all this joy, that you don't let them get you down. They wanted to see you really perform. They wanted to see you go off. But there was no need for you to go off, because you knew that you going off and stooping to their level would make it harder for you, not just on the physical, but also on the spiritual. And you were more concerned with what God has to say than with what man has to say. But things are starting to be seen now. Like I said, someone is noticing a pattern in someone else's behavior. And see, somebody expected something to come, like you, they expected you to come to them, but you didn't. You were able to do this alone. Like you knew that good things were coming your way, and that's why you were able to stand alone. You had something to tell somebody about how someone tried to attack you, and it comes as a shock, but it doesn't come as a shock. It only comes as a shock of the person to the person who actually tried to attack you, because they never thought that you would ever say it. They thought that you were going to cower. They thought that you was going to shrink. Not at all. This is somebody who's realizing that you have power that they won't ever have. It's like you talking to this person, the person that you feel you can trust, and they feel honored that you trust them. This is somebody who is recognizing this same trend, where somebody may be trying to gaslight you, take from you, but give it to somebody else. And you know that this is, you just want clarity. You just want to, whether it's just let it be known, but you also want this to end. You want whatever fuck shit is going on to end. See, somebody had a plan to try and do something to you, and then to sit back and watch how it took effect. But it didn't happen like that. And this is something that, like I said, you're not the first person. This is something that's a trend. This is something that's been going on time and time again. And then this person would somehow weasel their way out of it, but then and end up doing it again to somebody else. But you allowed your intuition to guide you. You allowed your intuition to guide you. And you knew, even though somebody that they, they thought that they had some type of power. It's like, but they're finding out that they can't take your power away. They're finding out they can't control you. They're finding out that they can't make you act or react in a certain way. And this is why you're receiving justice. Someone thought that they were going to be able to, have you doubt your own stability. Have you worried? Have you making silly mistakes? This is somebody who tried to take your power away. This is somebody who feels threatened because of your own inner strength. And this is also somebody who doubted that you were as spiritual as you are, that you were able to read them like a book. Hey, the Divine Oracle, how are you? So now this person who tried to harm you, who tried to gaslight you, this is the one who's on the outside now. This is the one who is being pushed out, and this is the one who's going to have to leave. Because this person is finding out, not only were you able to win this little silly ass game that somebody was playing, not only were you able to understand what they were doing, but you were able to like take up for yourself. You showed what it was to lead by example. See, somebody wanted to try and affect your money, a gift, something that was tangible. And they thought that if they could affect this, they could turn your life upside down. They could actually take your joy away. But that's not how it's working. Hey, Diesel Gravy. Something about the person who holds the purse strings. I feel like the person who holds the purse strings is on your side. And now somebody is all in their emotions. Sorry if you see the table or the camera moving. Somebody's right here and she's all up around the table for whatever reason. All that other space over there, she want to be right here. But somebody's all in their emotions and they're trying to keep it together, but they're being found out. They are being found out. And where you were supposed to have been the one that was hurt, you're not hurt. You're the one that's healed. You're the one that's the guiding star. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I don't know why that just came in my head. But you're the one who's, like I said, you're leading by example. Yeah, somebody's finding out information. They got some pretty good information, evidence. on what somebody was actually trying to do. This person thought that they was going to be able to sneak around forever doing this, but everything started coming back around. It's like you closed the cycle because you refused to play any games. And that's whenever someone could see the truth. Who was telling the truth? Because you refused to play any games. You weren't going to shrink down. You weren't going to cower. You weren't going to bite your nails. You were just going to say whatever it was that needed to be said, and so be it. And I feel like the one spirit, not just spirit that appreciates your honesty, but this could be like a company, an organization or something. They appreciate your honesty as well. Yeah, this could be something that you've dealt with before. This could be, even you with your kids. But somebody tried to lie on you. Somebody tried to lie on a relationship. Somebody tried to lie on you being a chosen one. But now they can't lie anymore. They cut themselves up. And somebody is, under investigation. They cut themselves up. And they may also be trying to ghost uh, the whole situation, but somebody got caught up. I feel like this person tried to come with some type of explanation to make it seem like, oh, it wasn't like this. Oh no, they read that wrong. Oh my gosh, that's what they thought. How could you think that? But that wasn't it at all. You read it right. Your intuition told you exactly what it was. And this witch found out that, what, she couldn't do anymore. It's like this was a wake-up call for this witch. that her time is over. Something about you moving on. I feel like you were moving on, whether you were changing jobs, changing cities, you know, changing states. I feel like you are moving on. And actually, this brings great sadness to whether it's a group, whether it's a company, whether it's a family, whoever. Somebody's feeling great sadness because they know now, that it was them that caused this. They know now, not just them that caused this, but they know that they're being caught up because of this. This person now feels like a fool for trying to spread these rumors or say this stuff about you or try and have this information going on around you fast. This person feels foolish because you know what, you are an earth angel. And you did make a judgment call. And now this person is definitely stuck in the foolishness that they caused. Someone thought that they could just kind of go in, do some shit, and leave, and nobody would ever know. And now this person, where you were supposed to be the person with the broken heart, they're the ones whose heart is broken because you were being protected against this angry mob. Someone tried to get other people against you because someone thought that they could cast some type of spell, send some type of message, and the person that you have that you trust and that trust you and that appreciates you trusting them would think, okay, well, let me listen to them, because they thought that they was going to get their way. Even had some friends or other people saying, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. But you know what? That felt like a lead balloon because someone did not believe the lies. They believed the trend. Someone started looking at something, and they definitely saw the truth that this was a trend. This is something that kept going on, kept happening. Someone's name kept being brought about. And that's whenever someone knew that you had to defend yourself. You did the right thing. Whatever that thing was, you were doing the right thing. Hey, Lightworker William. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yep, this is something that's been going on for a while. You know, this is somebody who's been like a secret enemy of not just you, but others, because this person doesn't feel good about themselves. Who in the hell plans to go around causing grief to other people? Somebody that doesn't feel good about themselves. You know, this is somebody who needed to work on how they felt, as opposed to how they can try and take somebody down, how they can try and control a situation. That's somebody, you know, and this was somebody who was supposed to have been a leader. But that leader is now going to find out that they have to face justice. The same justice that they were doling out to everyone else, they're going to have to face this now. Hey, Red Violet. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? The same justice. Yep. And now they're realizing exactly how much power you have, that inner power, that inner strength, and how they cannot bully you, how they should have left you alone, how they should have left all of this alone, because they didn't realize that the truth was going to come out a lot sooner than what they realized. They thought that when the truth came out, that somebody would be looking at them, patting them on the back. No, because you came with real receipts to their fuckery. That's when someone got scared. That's when they knew they could not defend themselves. This is when someone became like, this is whenever they were found out to be, you know, very cold-hearted, very, you know, stoic is not even the word, just very cold-hearted, very unfeeling. This is somebody who, you know, they only thought of themselves. They weren't like that King of Cups. They were like the King of Cups in reverse. Somebody you don't want to work with, don't want to deal with. Somebody who no matter what you do, you know, you could have fallen off a cliff, broke your leg, you know, been attacked by a mountain lion, and the other person's just like, well, are you coming in tomorrow to work or what? One of those type of cold ass people. This is when this person is finding this out, or that, you know, people are finding out about this person. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? It is kind of cold here, though. It's like down in the 50s, which is cold for me. What's the message? Anything else in this deck? Yep. Yeah. See, somebody didn't expect you to be able to articulate everything that was going on, to run that shit down, to come with those real receipts. You know, they thought that you were going to be very emotional whenever you said whatever it was that you had to say about this devil. But you weren't. You was very calm. You was very cool. You were very calculated, cunning, and on point. What's the message, Spirit? Yep. See, somebody expected you to be in your emotions and feeling like you're all alone. They expected you to be like more like the queen of cups, like frantic and oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But that's not it. In fact, people are finding out that you don't really have a lot to say about this situation. In fact, they're going to be shocked that you didn't say anything. You just like gracefully moved the fuck on and assumed your position. That's what they're finding out. Is that it's almost like you this information's coming out about this person, and you just said, I'm going to say less. I'm going to say less. I'm going to let the sun shine and all the information come out, and I'm not even going to stress about it, because there's no need for me to go on and on and on and on, because it's almost like you realize that it's time for you to go. Wherever you're going, it is time for you to go. What you say? The divine oracle, the water in me is Scorpio, so my emotions hit different, right? What's the message, Spirit? I have Scorpio on my chart too. What's the message, Spirit? And see, with us Scorpios, we have to really be careful that we ain't trying to seek revenge. Because I mean, that's not my sun sign. I got Scorpio in my chart. But we have to make sure we ain't trying to seek revenge. Because when we try to seek revenge, we trying to get somebody with that stinger. That way you don't forget nothing. You just like, damn. Mm-hmm. See, you're gonna be celebrated soon, because everyone's going to be able to see that you are this empress, that you know how to get down. That's why you wear that crown. And there's not going to be any mistaking, what somebody was investing their time and their energy in doing. There's not going to be any mistake. Like I said, this person who was supposed to have been a leader, they're going to look at this person like they was nothing but a fool. They was young. They didn't look both ways before they crossed the street. They didn't think about things. But until this karma, came along, until this investigation was finished, until they had to go to court. And whenever they went to court, that's when somebody found out how much information was actually found out about them. And they're going to be surprised how many people gave up the information about them. The same people that they thought was on their side are going to be the same people that's like, no, oh no, that person was off the hook. That person was off the chain. That's when somebody's going to be shocked to find out that you felt their energy. You felt them playing in your face. And whenever you said that it was enough, it was enough. It's like you are the one who made sure that karma came back around. This is going to be major. This person is going to be shocked. This is somebody who's not going to know what to do. This is somebody who's going to break down in front of a lot of people crying, asking for another opportunity. Please give me one more chance. And that's when someone's going to tell them, no, we have given you enough chances. This is not your first rodeo. This is just another rodeo. And you refuse to simmer down. Let's see what else is on in another day. Right. Biggie. Yep. The King of Swords. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you, somebody really appreciates you having you being able to trust them and speak with them. Just, you know, you're not trying to pick the right word, you're just saying it however it comes out. And that's how that person understands what's going on, because you're just speaking. You're not saying, well, I'm not trying to hurt no, you fuck that. You ain't trying to hurt no feelings. You just like, okay, this is what's going on. On this, I have it written down. On this date, this is what happened. On this date, it was this and that and the other, and blah blah blah. And previously, when you and I had talked, and blah 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 blah. And this person appreciates you being so very direct. That's what it is. They appreciate your direct communication with them. Yeah, especially about this witch, and you felt it in your heart, in your energy, that this witch was going to try and affect your wheel of fortune, affect how life was going for you. But you know what? Now that this witch got the message that it's judgment day for them. Saint Gabriel is blowing that horn, and there ain't nothing that they can do to stop it. Somebody's trying to figure out, what can they do to get back in your good graces? Can they repair the relationship between you and them? But they find that now there is no way. You had to do too much to protect yourself, to defend yourself, to stand up for your fucking self, while this person was sitting here trying to plan shit and hoping that it came into fruition. They had already started shit. They had planned this and had already put it into practice. That's why when this investigation started, somebody found out how many times they had did this, to how many different people they had did this to. So yeah, this information that went to this person, this could be like a boss, a father. This information that went to that person, that was like shocking, because then it found out that, you know what, that person wasn't on your side or celebrating with you. That person was trying to cut you out. Someone was trying to gaslight you, and this is why you had to go. This is why you maybe had to go and work with another place, another company, another set of people. But like I said, everybody is going to be so shocked because you're not speaking about it. You're holding your tongue, you're biding your time, and you're looking at your choices, what you have to come, that where you're gonna go, where you're gonna land. But you know what? You're gonna be made a solid offer, a very solid offer. And then that person who was gaslighting you is going to be so upset, because that's whenever they know it's over for them. That person who tried to have you out in the cold, it's over for them. They were supposed to have been a leader, but everyone is seeing that they didn't lead at all. They were trying to take your joy away. Somebody was trying to bully you. And like I said, this is not the first time. This is just another time. You're not the first one. You're just another one. Somebody's going to find out the hard way that their stubbornness cost them this broken heart. What you say, these situations can often be referred to as a three-way paradox. Exactly, Lightworker William. Exactly. Thank you so much, Red Violet. What you say, always let the adversaries underestimate your intelligence. Exactly. Exactly. I don't say anything. I let them say it all. They say everything that I need to hear. And I just keep it close to the chest. You know, there's no need for me to feel like I have to outspeak somebody. Mm-mm. Let them tell all their secrets. Because, you know, this is somebody who's a narcissist and they think that they going to run you anyway. Yeah. Somebody wants to, they're going to send you a message. Somebody's going to send you a message, you know, almost like somebody wants to say that they're no longer working with somebody, or they no longer, you know, want to, you know, just, so like somebody is going to send you a message like something about how they weren't trying to cut you out. You know, they want to try and trick you into thinking that they feel like you're valuable, you know, but that's just a game. That's just a game somebody's trying to play, because they're afraid that you're going to go to, you know, the big boss or the one with all the money. They're afraid. And they don't, you know, it's like almost like the last time they went through this, they was given an option, you know, leave this shit alone, stop that bullshit or something. But you know what? They couldn't stop. You know how people with these addictions are, whether it's bullying somebody, whether it's gaslighting people, whether it's this or whether it's that, somebody could not stop. But now spirit is here and spirit is stepping in. It's time for them to stop. They don't have a choice. And see, they're going to find out all these friends that they thought that they had. They're going to find out that these weren't really their friends. Because when it comes down time to getting in trouble, that's when you find out them ain't your friends at all. You know? And the fact that somebody tried to come up against you, a rising star, an earth angel, you know, that's what those friends are going to be like. Well, we don't know why you was trying to come up after the a star, an earth angel, an indigo child, a star seed. What the fuck was you thinking? No, we ain't. Yeah, it's like somebody's going to find out that, you know, all that trying to gather the troops, trying to, you know, have all this negative shit to say about you, trying to all these rumors and shit like that. That's when they're going to find out that those friends really were not their friends, because they don't want to go down. Nobody want to go to jail. Nobody wants to lose their job. Nobody wants to be kicked out. Nobody wants to, you know, have their life turned upside down because somebody else couldn't get themselves together, because somebody else felt bad about themselves. Nobody wants to go through that. Ain't nobody saying, oh, I'm your ride or die. You know, yeah, I'm your ace boon coon until the end. You know, yeah, you go down and you lose your job, I'm gonna lose my job too. They like, listen, it's between me and you. I'm not about to lose my job because you don't know how to control yourself. I didn't really want to do all that stupid shit, but you said it's going to be fun. So if you think about it, I was really kind of standing to the back, allowing you to run the show. But me, JoJo, Juniper, and Jehoshaphat, we was just like all back here. We was just kind of like giggling, but we wasn't giggling at the shit that you was doing. We was looking at our phone, giggling at a YouTube video. That's what we was giggling at. Hey, Tia. See, somebody gonna have to find out the hard way. Them ain't your friends. You's the only one that was acting stupid. You know, and nobody want to get karma. Nobody wants to get blamed for some shit. Nobody wants to be in spiritual jail. They don't want to be in physical jail. They don't want to have their finances affected. They don't want their family to be affected. They don't want their job to be affected. They don't want their car to be. Nobody wants all that shit. What's the message, Spirit? And see, they really messed up, because what they should have done was to look at how you react, or the lack of reaction that you have. See, they was thinking that you was going to blow up. But whenever you was calm, cool, and collected, when you stood back and you took a step back and you was quiet, that should have scared them right there. That should have let them know she got, or he got, somebody that's like the somebody that they can talk to, somebody that's going to be there to support them, somebody that believes in them. That's what they should have thought about that shit. Hey, Nicolisa, how are you? Hey, Mike Taylor. See, they didn't know. They were so busy thinking that they was going to have victory that they didn't stop and think that maybe, just maybe, what if it don't work that way? Like they didn't see that God was trying to urge them, giving them an easy out. God was saying, don't do that, because they didn't listen. But they're listening now. Now they all upset because the proof is right here. The swords are right here. How they tried to put 10 in your back, and how you knew they was trying to put 10 in your back, and you did something about it. And now that wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. See, people want to sit there and discount the goodness of God. They think that God is just somebody that you go pray to on Sunday, Wednesdays. Well, today is Wednesday, but God is here with us, within us. See, somebody, they didn't think that you really knew who God was, because they don't know who God is. So they thought that you didn't have a close and tight-knit relationship, because they don't. That was their mistake. That was their mistake. Like they say, you don't ever judge a book by its cover. You could be looking at a cover of a book and it be called, The Secret of Joy or something like that. You like, oh, that's going to be a good book. It's telling you positive affirmations of how to, have wonderful days. And and people are like, no, you didn't read the book, did you? Oh, I can just judge it. It looks like it's a good book. And they're like, no, it's just woman's whole diary talking about how she did this and did that, and how she treated the kids, and how she went through 12 husbands and none of them made it, but the last one got away, and da 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 da. And then the animal control was coming, like, well, damn, you sure do have a lot of missing dogs and cats and monkeys and other animals, and da 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 da. And and how this and how that, so sorry, Sasha, go back to sleep, baby. So somebody, they like I said, they judged the book by its cover, especially when it came to you. They was expecting you to be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But instead, you was like singing Pharrell's happy song. They thought that they was gonna mess you up. All you did was be elevated. That was it. All that floor space all over there, and she got to continue to move the table. Whatever. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? What else? What else, Spirit? Yeah, see, somebody didn't realize that the whole time while they were sitting here plotting and planning on how to take you down, you was busy elevating. They sitting here plotting and planning how to take you down, and you busy elevating. How stupid do they feel right about now? What else, Spirit? Anything else from this deck? They got to feel like a fool. Gots to. Anything else from this deck? No? Yeah. They sure didn't see this shit coming, whatever this is. And they sure didn't think that the Wheel of Fortune was going to turn away from them. They sure didn't think that either. The whole time they trying to take you down and you busy elevating. Yes, Sasha is a dog. A big dog. A baby dog. A spoiled dog. Very spoiled. And she don't like to listen. What's the message, Spirit? Hey, Tara, how are you? See, they're stuck in the place you were supposed to be. And you don't care because whenever they tried that shit, you left them to their own devices. You know? They are stuck where you're supposed to be. Like I said, the whole time they was trying to take you down, you was busy elevating. And you know they got to feel like a fool. But they're getting what they deserve in January. And we in the month of January, because everything is going to be seen. Everything. And you had your ancestors protecting you the entire time. So there was nothing that they could do. Absolutely nothing. And somebody learned the absolute truth about this person. The absolute truth. That's why they feel stupid. That's why they have their their head in their hand. Because they can't sit here and lie and point the finger at you and say, well, you did this and you did that. Because you didn't do nothing. The only thing that you did do was speak the truth. That was it. What else, Spirit? That was it. Yep. Here you are, balancing out a whole situation by yourself. Yep. A whole situation. Because you decided that you was not going to allow somebody to make you feel like you was supposed to be quiet and just accept some shit. This was the life that they chose, though. They chose this shit. So whatever they get, they get. You know? And you know what? It's like this person may have tried this shit with you before. They're haunted by their past. They tried this shit with you before, but because they thought that you got one over on them, they couldn't let it go. Because you was willing to let it go and move on, and hey, I'm just this and that and the other. They thought, oh, no, they ain't trying to rub this shit in my face. They should have matured at that point and said, okay, you know what? Let's let bygones be bygones, because that's what you did. You said, I'm not going to sit there and hold no grudge. I'm going to let bygones be bygones. But somebody felt like, oh, no. They ain't going to get the last laugh. Watch this. I'm going to get the last laugh. They was like, hold my beer. And then they came in. See, they could have been trying to affect your money. And that's whenever, that's definitely a no-go. You know? Yeah, because that's when the Wheel of Fortune started turning in your favor. When they was trying to play, ooh, and baby, they played with God. They didn't play with you. That's should have been enough for them to sit their ass down somewhere. That should have been enough for they to sit their ass down somewhere to find out that you was playing with God, not the collective. What else? Anything else? Yeah, that whole plan fell apart. And they cannot make it make sense at all. I'm telling you, somebody gonna send you a message and you're gonna leave it left on red. You don't even care what they got to say. Because they didn't want to be nice and cordial the first time they got their ass proverbially whooped. But they want to try and come back. Okay, now you got your ass proverbially whooped again, and you got karma to deal with. Now what? Now they understand. Now it makes sense how they should have just left well enough alone the first damn time. But you wanted to come back up in here. You wanted some more. So I had to put my ass kicking shoes back on and kick some more ass, take some more name. Yeah, and they was doing some illegal shit at that. Trying to get at you. Come on now. Grow up. Grow up. It's your energy that got them hurt. They can't stand your energy. It's like your light is too bright. Confirmation. Your light is too bright for them. That's why they want to turn it out. They want to tear it down. They want to destroy it. They feel like they seeing a ghost because they haunted by their past actions. In fact, I feel like somebody going to be like, do you feel like this is a deja vu moment? Because I swear, we just went through this bullshit in September. Don't you feel like it's a deja vu moment? Because let me touch your booty. Because I know you got the softest ass this side of the Mississippi. And then let me knock on that hard ass head. Because you got a hard ass head. Somebody's finding out that they purposely threw obstacles in your way. But you was able to reclaim all your inheritance and then some. And then some. See, you got a consolation prize for them trying to even fuck around with you. I'm telling you, this is a low vibe energy vampire. They couldn't deal with your light. And they are so mad at this liar. Them and all their little goony goo goo friends. And they all getting a 10-year curse. All of them. For fucking around with you. For trying to hurt you. Now they got 10 years of this bullshit. 10 years of being left out in the cold. 10 years of struggling. 10 years of wonder what they're going to do. And you know that the government just stopped all these food stamps and shit like that, so they don't know what they're going to do. They are experiencing a tower all because they wanted to worship the devil. That was it. Well, I hope they like it. And they're so mad at you because you was born a boss. That's not your problem. That ain't even your issue. If they get that mad, they can take it up with God. But that's not for you to have to figure out. That's for them to have to figure out themselves while they sitting here trying to be a little secret enemy. You're going to hear something positive by the month of February. By the month of February, you're going to hear something very positive. And February is not that far away. 23 more days. We will be there. Anything else from this day before I wrap it up? Okay. Yeah. So next year, this time, you're going to be perfect. You about to be blessed. Yes. And now this person is sitting here looking like a bully. They look like a bully. Damn church witch. And the Spirit said, let them be mad. All because they agreed to not tell you about some money that they was going to try and mess with. Your money. What you deserved. So let them gaslight. Let them play games. Let them do all that shit. But just to make sure that it's just them. All you got to do is just keep your little journal and come on out with the truth. Because it's the truth that's going to that's what knocks people down to their knees. That truth. You know, people can't stand the truth. They can't deal with the truth. You know, that's that part. That truth get them, and they be like, oh, that's when they get mad at you. That's when they get real mad. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. Confirmation. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm getting ready to shut this down and go to bed. It is 7:45. If I hurry up, take me a shower, I could be in the bed by 8:15. That'd be perfect. I will see y'all tomorrow. I love you all. Good night. Bye now.